Every year, the Philippines experiences natural disasters that impact lives and destroy homes and livelihoods. Millions of people are affected and billions of pesos are lost. Disasters are felt most strongly in vulnerable communities where local governments may have limited resources and capacity.
The last thing that we want to happen is to commit the same mistakes that we did that brought about the disaster. To be successful, it must be bottom-up. And government should only facilitate with regard to providing resources and tools. And the real action should emanate from every individual in the community.
In 2010, the Philippine government established the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Act, or Republic Act 10121, which emphasized a proactive approach to risk reduction through preparedness, mitigation, and prevention. The law strengthened the mandates of local government units to prepare and implement their disaster risk reduction and management plans.
We must accompany communities and local governments in terms of capacity building, capacity creation sa ating mga LGUs kasi talagang kailangan tayong mas prepare for these disasters that are surely will still come.
To lessen the impact of natural disasters, the Department of Interior and Local Government launched a program to support the vulnerable local governments, especially those located along major river basins in the Philippines. Robust and up-to-date information on hazards and risks is needed to support decisions to effectively prepare for disasters and plan safe and resilient communities. 3 pilot municipalities in Pampanga underwent training on how to improve and strengthen DRRM plans through available information, technology, and tools that can aid every LGU. The process of enhancing DRRM planning is presented in 6 steps and is illustrated through the experiences of Lubao, Guagua, and Candaba. The starting point for the process is to review current plans, including comprehensive land use plans, disaster risk reduction and management plans, and contingency preparedness plan. LGU leaders can undertake an inclusive and participatory process to review the plans, locate gaps, and set goals for improving the plans based on the current needs of the LGU.
Kasi sa DRR, kailangan mong malaman yung sitwasyon ng inyong lugar, ng inyong pamayanan, ano yung kanilang peligro o yung hazard, nasaan yung iyong mga kababayan para magkaroon ng mas magandang plano para sa DRR.
After identifying the problem and the goals, a core team is established to assess the gathered information and identify gaps. Members of the team ideally represent every sector that plays an important role in disaster risk reduction and management. Barangay representatives, civil society organizations, and other stakeholders can be critical members of the team. The training needs analysis will identify strengths and weaknesses on mapping and planning to prioritize capacity building activities.
Everybody should partake in the disaster effort because, after all, everybody is vulnerable in the Philippines to all of these hazards. We have to work together.
Capacity building is crucial in creating a team that will commit in working for disaster risk reduction. Continuous training should be given to improve the ability of each member of the group and their ability to work as a team. It is ideal that these skills eventually become institutionalized in the LGU operations.
The people must be committed. Our Dream C people are also very eager in doing their particular job, especially monitoring all around the municipality.
The next step is to gather information to establish baseline in decision-making. Community mapping harnesses local knowledge to create accurate maps of what matters most to communities and local governments, such as local roads, schools, markets, and evacuation centers.
With the increasing disasters and the need for site-specific information, ang mapping ay critical baseline info para magsimula ng isang effective decision-making at saka planning.
OpenStreetMap, or OSM, is a tool for community mapping that is being increasingly used in the Philippines. OSM aids LGUs to create, update, or revise plans regarding disaster risk reduction by creating a base map information on important assets such as roads, waterways, schools, and evacuation centers.
So nakita namin na maganda tong opportunity para magamit ng ating mga LGUs kasi karamihan ng mga information na kailangan ng LGUs, kailangan nasa mapa. Pwede pa rin nilang gamitin yung mga kasalukuyan nilang ginagamit na pamamaraan sa disaster risk reduction sa kanilang paggawa ng plano. Meron ka lang dinagdag para mas mapagtibay, mas mapaganda yung kanilang plano.
Because it uses participatory approach, OSM provides an opportunity for the community and LGU authorities to work together to create more accurate and up-to-date maps based on local knowledge. Contributing to OSM initially requires the help of experienced mappers to support local communities, private and public stakeholders who work together to collect and share detailed information about their surroundings.
Yung experience ng pagpunta sa community at makipag-ugnayan sa pamayanan, hindi yun nakikita sa mapa eh. Pero yung exercise ng pumupunta yung mga local government officials, LGU, yung ating DRRM officer sa community, mas nagkakaroon ng mas magandang ugnayan kasi yung community at saka yung local government.
Strong partnership between the community and LGU is a critical part of building resilience. In times of calamity, coordination, communication, and trust improve disaster response and can save lives. Analyzing the data to understand disaster impacts is the next step. The DRRMC works hand in hand with new technologies and innovations in creating a convenient platform to analyze generated information.
We want to put the best time forefront of disasters because if we don't, we might suffer the consequences. We have been producing the detailed hazard maps. Those hazard maps can improve assessment. That information is power to be able to prevent calamity from happening.
The InaSafe tool for desktop computers and the WebSafe online tool have been developed to help LGUs understand and use the hazard maps and risk assessment to produce real impact scenarios for planning.
Yung InaSafe parang software na nag-i-integrate ng dalawang klase ng information. Una yung hazard, pangalawa yung tinatawag natin na exposure. Usually ang ginagamit namin na datos para sa hazard mula sa Project NOAA at yung ilan din na mga ginagawa din ng mga local government unit. Ang idea ay mas madali gamit yung information, kumbaga mas realistic kasi nasa mapa siya eh. Hindi na lang basta merong estimate.
Policies, strategies, and priority programs and projects ideally emanate from community consultations. These bottom-up solutions are then presented to the local leadership, especially the Sanggunian for approval, which confirms budgetary allocation for implementation. This is an iterative process, especially when plans get updated and enhanced over time.
So far, it is the governor. When we have reported our accomplishment last August, she herself offered to the other municipalities who have not undergone OSM to undergo such training with the financial support of the provincial government.
Community participation in the mapping process also fosters ownership of the identified solutions, increased awareness of disaster risks that communities face, promote better understanding of the trade-offs that they have to make to uphold their safety and security.
Ang plano namin, unang-una is continuous training, continuous na mag-encourage ng mga OSM volunteers from the schools, from the barangays, even mga religious organization. We will encourage them na mag-participate, mag-update doon sa OSM. May plano ang local government doon sa isang community college namin na magkaroon ng isang public safety course at i-introduce din namin doon yung OSM.
Risk assessment through community participation is highly recommended to become part of normal LGU operations. It is a very practical solution for many vulnerable LGUs in the country. It also has an added value of promoting collaboration with other LGUs as it creates a process to identify collective issues, actions, and decisions towards disaster risk reduction.
Ini-encourage ko yung kasama natin sa
ibang LGUs, no? Sana mag-start na rin. Kasi alos tabi-tabi lang kami. Pag gumawa kami ng plano, pwede kaming mag-collaborate. Dikit-dikit lang kami. Alam namin yung mga terrains namin. Mas maganda yung magiging resulta ng preparation kung hindi kami kanya-kanya.
It is important to emphasize to engage in a dynamic and participatory process. Evaluation is preferably undertaken periodically to gather feedback, monitor the achievement of the set goals, and allow for modifications in policies and implementation if necessary.
It's not about the data that you gather, but the process of communicating and talking to the communities.
The pilot LGUs have demonstrated the practicality of their community mapping and action planning. During Typhoon Glenda, these LGUs utilized their maps to identify areas that might be affected, evacuation routes, and emergency shelters. As the LGUs printed out these maps and distributed them to the communities, affected families easily found their way to safety.
Typhoon Glenda, nagamit po namin siya dahil nakapag-establish po kami ng mapa na mga evacuation centers. Nai-identify na rin po namin doon yung exit route kung saan po sila dadaan.
Interested LGUs and stakeholders can access information about these technologies and related capacity building tools for free through DILG. To get started, quick reference materials are available with links to resources and tips about minimum technical requirements. Empowering local government units to improve DRRM plans is a necessary step towards attaining the goal of a resilient Philippines. This step is taken one LGU, one community at a time.